I'm doing a merch giveaway at the end of every month, so if you want to know how to win it, stick around to the end of the video.
After this year's short break, the MCU is moving full steam ahead with 7 huge movie announcements for the future. Hi everyone, how you're doing? It's Kieran here at Raw Review, and only a few things are certain in life: death, taxes, and that the MCU will continue to press on. Let's be honest, 2023 was a rough year for the franchise, with 2 of their 3 films underperforming. In need of a desperate reset, Marvel Studios have pushed the majority of their films back, and this is to allow more time to bring back the standard of consistently good films that they are once known for. This is a much needed shift in focus back to quality over quantity now that Disney isn't forcing them to push out as much content as possible, and could actually mark a whole new era for the universe. With the MCU knee deep in Phase 5, there are still so many huge movies coming out that will no doubt shake things up for the franchise. New characters are set to finally make their MCU debut, while familiar faces return to take centre stage. While the slate of projects changes so often, it seems like things have finally settled to where they are now. So here are every up-and-coming confirmed MCU film on their way in order of release date. Being released on July 26th, 2024 is Deadpool and Wolverine. The only film releasing this year is arguably the MCU's biggest gamble in years. Deadpool and Wolverine is set to be the first R-rated movie produced by Marvel Studios, and is one that will push the universe forward in bold new directions. The excitement is high for this one as Marvel looks to do their biggest multiverse movie yet. The first trailer broke records to become the most viewed in less than 24 hours, completely shattering that of Spider-Man No Way Home with 355 million views. People are clearly interested in the film as Marvel looks to bring Deadpool into the MCU along with the highly anticipated return of Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. A few years ago, it seemed like this movie would never even happen. Now it's only a few months away from release, with the world wondering what is he going to get up to this time. Rumours and the trailer itself have heavily implied that Deadpool will almost go down a trip down memory lane throughout the Fox universe, also allowing for one final send-off to the franchise to help popularise comic book movies before MCU introduces their own X-Men. Fans are looking forward to a meta movie filled with callbacks and bloody action that Deadpool is known for in a film that has lots of stakes for the MCU. Following that, we have Captain America: Brave New World that's being released in February the 14th, 2025. For the first time ever, Sam Wilson will be leading the movie as the brand new Captain America. As a black man wearing the stars and stripes, Sam will feel the pressure as he takes on a new level of responsibility. On top of all of that, he's going to be at the odds with President Thunderbolt Ross that's now being played by Harrison Ford. It's going to be exciting to see Ford play in the MCU sandbox and potentially even transform into the Red Hulk. Joining him will be the return of Tim Blake Nelson, a genius turned supervillain whose blood was mixed in with that of the Hulk. Plot details have actually been kept really well under lock and key, but from what Marvel have let fans know so far, that it's going to be an exciting event. The film is set to be a huge one as it establishes one of the faces of the universe going forward as the star he is. Being released next on May the 2nd is The Thunderbolts. Set to be the final film in Phase 5, The Thunderbolts is an ambitious team-up movie that brings together some of Marvel's morally ambiguous characters. In the comics, the Thunderbolts have served many different purposes. At first, they were a team of supervillains in disguise trying to gain the public's trust. In more recent times, the team has become akin to Marvel's version of Suicide Squad. While they aren't full-blown criminals, the characters are doing contract work for the government and are viewed as expendable. With a star-studded cast consisting of Florence Pugh, Sebastian Stan and David Harbour, the movie looks to bring Marvel's grittier characters together in one of the more exciting movies on the slate. Unlike other projects, Thunderbolts is seemingly an original story, not taking much inspiration from the comics. This all revolves around an heavily rumoured and all but confirmed inclusion of the Sentry. The all-powerful hero is cursed with an alternate personality known as the Void, a force of pure evil that is forever bonded to him. It seems like the team is going to have to take down one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel universe. And given that most of them are just super soldiers, things immediately become interesting seeing how doomed they are from the start. Following this release, we have the Fantastic Four being released on July 25th. Arguably the most anticipated up-and-coming MCU film, the Fantastic Four is finally set to introduce the Marvel's first family next summer. After being announced all the way back in 2019, the film has been teased for years with small updates surrounding it. Then this past Valentine's Day, Marvel casually dropped the big news of their casting online to get fans excited for the film. The Mandalorian's Pedro Pascal would play Mr. Fantastic, while The Crow's Vanessa Kirby would play his better half, the Invisible Woman. Joining them is Stranger Things' Joseph Quinn as the Human Torch, alongside The Bear's Ebon Moss-Bachrach as the Thing. The cast is set to start filming later on this year while they finally bring the team to life. All the promotional material thus far has teased the movie taking place in a different time period or universe with a swinging 60s aesthetic, which, to be honest, would be a breath of fresh air for the MCU. It gives an opportunity to tell the story without the restraints of the modern day MCU with an artistic vision that really makes it stand out. Fast forward all the way to November 7th would be Blade. Of all the movies on this list, Blade is the one that we know least about. It's been over 5 years since Mahershala Ali's surprise appearance at San Diego Comic-Con to announce the film. Ali personally approached Feige about playing the character and is largely responsible for this reboot being made in the first place. Despite kicking off the comic book movie genre, the Wesley Snipes trilogy rarely gets the credit it deserves. Blade has gone through 2 cinematographers, 2 directors and 4 writers since its announcement back in 2019. This is mainly due to numerous schedule changes and creative overhauls to make this movie work. It's been a journey to get where it is today, but Blade is finally in a good place and preparing to shoot later on this year. It's also been confirmed that it is going to be R-rated, meaning that Marvel can make this vampire slasher as bloody and as violent as it needs to be. It will be an exciting step into the supernatural world of monsters starring Marvel's coolest character, and it's definitely the one that I am the most excited for. Then we jump to May 1st, 2026 for Avengers 5. 7 years after the release of Avengers Endgame comes the next installment, the recently unnamed Avengers 5. Originally subtitled The Kang Dynasty, the film was loosely going to adapt the comic of the same name. Marvel Studios had bet the house on the character of Kang, planning for him to be the huge reoccurring threat throughout the saga as it built up to this film. And let's be honest, it seemed like a smart move at the time. However, actor Jonathan Majors was found guilty of 2 misdemeanor charges and a domestic violence case. He was quickly dropped by the studio as they had gone into crisis mode trying to figure out what to do with their big tentpole movie. It seems the solution is to recast, but Marvel isn't in a rush to find a new actor to take on a title role. To me, it seems smart to keep the character around as they've already spent so much time building the foundations for this event. The entire Loki series established him as a terrifying threat. And while Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania killed him off, they did heavily tease that he'd be back in a much bigger way. It's best to find a new actor who can do the character justice and continue with their plans. And then lastly, jumping to May 7th, 2027 is Avengers: Secret Wars. Almost 20 years since the MCU began, it will reach the big climax it's been building up to. There is no greater event in Marvel Comics than that of Secret Wars, so it only made sense for Marvel to end the multiverse saga with it. The multiverse-spanning catastrophe takes place as incursions destroy universes one by one until none remain, trapping the surviving characters on a planet known as Battleworld. Now, there are 2 different versions of the story. The first one was from 1984, which was largely done as an attempt to sell more toys, and the 2015 reboot, which recontextualized everything into a personal story for Reed Richards and Doctor Doom. It's likely that the MCU will adapt both versions to honour their legacy and welcome the future. The MCU is going to continue no matter what, with some of their biggest movies yet in the works. These next 2 years look to be the most crucial for the Judgment as they look to prove doubters wrong and put people back on the board. This list doesn't even include movies that have yet to be announced and dated by Marvel like Shang-Chi 2 and Spider-Man 4. Despite the people involved confirming that these movies are in the works, nothing has been made official by Marvel. Hopefully Marvel has learnt the right lessons and is able to get back on track to making the fun movies that they are known for. So there we have it guys, let me know in the comments below what movie are you most looking forward to. And if you want to be entered into the monthly giveaway, all you need to do is leave a like on this video, leave a comment below and make sure you are subscribed. And one lucky random subscriber will be announced at the end of the month. And just before I go, a massive thank you for watching and I will see you in the next one. But until then, take care.